Hi everybody, it's Maree here. It's been a long time since I've put any videos out on this channel. And I, like many people over the last year since the beginning of COVID, have been going within, doing my own inner work, obviously, assessing the greater energetic picture that's taking place, which it is. So just hold tight, everything is in divine accord. But I've been feeling impulsed through my higher self spirit to come on and just give some options, I suppose, to give some greater insight, some overall insight, a greater eagle's perspective, so to speak, and to assist many who may be just awakening. Many of the old stayers like me in the worst first wave that have been awake for a long time, but are certainly being challenged and being pushed through our stuff yet again to keep rising. So I want to take everyone back to basics, actually. So today, what I would like to quickly talk about, and I may come on and expand on this, I feel, because it's a huge subject, but I want to touch on my passion, definitely one of my divine purpose missions that I have incarnated into for this earth is all about the violet flame. And the violet flame is one of your most empowering energetic tools that you can ever get to know, utilize, and become at one with, literally. Because as we know, there's so much going on in this world right now. There's so much fear that's being amplified and raised to the surface, which it has to be. And we'll talk about that another day. But for what is coming up in your being and in your world, whether that be simply a symptom, whether that be fear within you, whether you can feel palpable, tangible fear around you, whether you just feel that you can't assist the world, or what can you do to assist the world? How could, I, in your sense or my sense, think that we could make great insignificant change to this planet? All the answers and the big yeses that we have available to us is certainly through this one dynamic tool called the violet flame. Now, the violet flame has been around since the last century, and it's been around obviously cosmically, eternally. But we, as we have done with much of our knowledge and through the veils of forgetfulness, we've forgotten. So it came into the greater knowing again in the 19th, 20th century, and it was dispensed to us as conscious soul beings again for the greater purpose of speeding up our journey. Because at one point on this great spiritual evolution that this planet's been undertaking, we were behind and we were on a dark cataclysmic path. And that might look like it is right now, but I can assure you that it isn't. That since 1987, a group of collective souls chose at the highest level that we would transition into fifth dimensional energies, frequencies, and new earth time grids peacefully. And while again, it may appear that it's not very peaceful, it certainly is when we look at the potential cataclysmic outcomes that may have been well created by many souls. Okay, so we're not undertaking that path, but we must undergo chaos. We must go through the dark night of the soul. We must go through the lower frequencies to raise them into light. This was the journey. This is the contract that we all agreed to. We can't just walk into fifth dimension. That isn't possible. We, as a soul, unique and wondrous that we are, each one of us before incarnating agreed to wake up consciously, to come to a vibration of consciousness where we awoke from the dream, the sleep, the game, the play, and we could actually then begin to see the greater dynamics, the greater energies of the duality that is now completing itself. And our journey is to obviously work through our duality. It's while we always as humans look outwardly, the outward is only ever a reflection of our inward state. So as we all know, at some point in time, we've been so chaotic, so in fear, so imbalanced. Everything around us appears just so, if not more so. And again, once we calm ourselves, we center ourselves, we come back into that beingness state that we all are aiming to find at some point of the day, the minute, the hour, the year. We find that when we're calm, everything calms around us, and it's simply energy. Okay, so this is where I want to bring in this violet flame, because the violet flame, as I said, I've been teaching my group, my people around me, that your basic principles of energy are absolutely vital now. They will be your steadfast through this. They will be your go-to. They will be your anchoring point, your stability point, your peace point. It's so important to be able to use that. Now, the violet I love because, as I said, we were given this to speed up the process. Now, I'm certainly a person, and I'm sure you all are if you're listening to this, that you want to move through this. I mean, we don't like being stuck in darkness. We don't like being stuck in our hole, but the holes are necessary. We have to go into our dark aspects to actually acknowledge them, recognize them, and then transmute them or transform them. So if we're given a tool to accelerate that, and a tool that we can easily, once we believe in, and this is the journey, belief is everything, that when we actually utilize the violet flame for its purpose, then we will expedite the path. We will expedite our way through these darker moments of our time. And as we become at one with it, as we become familiarized of how it works with us and how we recognize and we believe even more in this amazing tool, then we can take that into the supposed outward state. We can take it into the greater collective consciousness state. We can take it to the planetary Mother Gaia state. We can use this to facilitate and to assist every soul upon this planet. And particularly our beloved Mother Earth, who so desperately is moving through her journey too, and is asking us to assist in all ways. And we owe that to her. We've utilized her. She's been here for us for thousands and thousands of incarnations, for many of us, some not so many. But she's held us, supported us in grace and love. And so this too is a great tool to assist her. Why wouldn't we? Okay, so today I just want to touch on what it is, all right? Because many people ask me. Now, the violet flame is this wondrous consciousness tool. Now, it's a ray of energy. It's a ray of light, frequency, sound, as all rays are. Now, it's the 7th ray. Okay, it's a high frequency ray. It is a combination of the amethyst ray, which is all about magic, Merlin's ray, transformation and transmutation. Now, they're the 3 key words that I really want you to remember: magic, transformation, transmutation. This is the frequency that will transform, transmute, providing like a magic, which it is, of shifting a vibration of lesser frequency into a higher vibratory frequency immediately. Yes, immediately. What stops it or blocks it is our consciousness, our disbelief, our doubt, our query, I suppose, is to whether this is working, whether we're doing it right. Does it really work? Anything that brings doubt, you've wiped out what your original intention is. So this is where the mastery of your own mental aspects, your mind control, is absolutely vital, and it is the journey throughout this game of Earth as well that we're playing. So what I want to give you, I mean, it's all great how to talk about it, and you can read about it. There's so much on the net. Go out and do your own homework, absolutely. But I think stories are more empowering. They give you the ability to hear someone's truth, their experience in utilizing it. And truthfully, I have been using the violet flame every day since 1999. And I don't say that lightly. I mean it every day. And I'll explain why in a moment, how that came into being for me. I knew about it, read about it, heard about it, did groups about it prior to 1999. But it was in that particular time, on a particular day, where my higher self said, this is it. Time for you to recognize this, see the incredible, awesome power that it is, and how you can then energize this and utilize this and gift this away to all souls who are willing to remember and action with it, take action with it. So just going back to the violet ray though, when we utilize it, again, there's no wrong or right way to call it into power. You can just intend it in your mind. You can visualize it in your mind. You can picture it as a color. You can picture it as a ball of light. You can picture it as a symbol. You can picture it as a flame, a mist. You can get into a bath with it. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. The key is you believe in what you're doing and it will work. You will experience what you put out. So the beautiful thing about this particular amethyst ray is where we get the violet, and this is what amplifies it into greatness yet again, God's love yet again, is the power of love. So the violet is the amethyst and pink ray combined. So here we have this amplification yet again of transformation, transmutation. So it's taking you up even higher. Now, when the violet flame first came into being in this consciousness lifetime, or was remembered yet again, it was of the just called the violet flame, the violet ray. Now, violet flame takes on increased power yet again when we come from a true spiritual God intention, higher source, higher creative aspect that we are intending with. This is when a ray will turn to flame. Okay, it will shift into a higher flame, burning the dross, burning the lower frequencies, raising them and clearing them absolutely. So it doesn't matter, don't get caught up in rays and flames. Either they're intermediary, they'll switch across, but again, your intention, you can take it up as high as you want. Now, where we are at the moment, again, we're now in fifth dimensional frequency. Yep. So we also now are in fifth dimensional violet flame, cosmic diamond ray light frequency. So the violet has yet again taken another amplification itself in the higher frequency state. Now, with that beautiful violet, this is the tool, this is the flame, this is the light, the ray of the new earth. This is the way forward to the new earth. And when you action it, utilize it, as I said, this will now accelerate you, and particularly calling for the fifth dimensional aspect of it will raise it yet again to accelerate your path. Now, you do need to know, well, this is one of the greatest clearing tools that you can ever utilize apart from love. Okay, but what it will do, its purpose is to transform and transmute. So it will be raising up from the cells. It will be drawing from every cell, all trillions of cells that you are, every chakra that you are now actioning to 12, every DNA strand that you are now actioning back into 12. It will be pulling up everything less than love to your consciousness surface point, so that you can action in full consciousness, what you are now transforming, transmuting, what you are needing to know, to move through, to recognize, to release, that has not served you, that has been dormant, but very subconsciously and unconsciously active within you. Okay, but it will raise to the surface all that is less than. Now, I want to add here, well, that might just sound like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. Holy crap. Trust me. In the old days, it was doing that. And in my walk, this is what exactly it was doing. It was bringing up everything, and I've had to experience much, but that's my contract. But now we're not experiencing as much because we have expedited this path, because we were behind, remember. So those that are really waking up now, even in the last few years, you're coming through this whole phase much faster than what we did in the first waivers. So blessings, no comparison. That's just your soul's journey and your contract as opposed to mine. Okay, no better, no worse. It just is. But in saying that too, what the flame does while we are expediting now, we have asked in this quick way to actually clear off the dross. The flame will clear all the dross that we don't need, and it's actually manifesting through to transmute much of what we don't need, what we are, that we don't need to witness. But it will raise to the surface now the major aspects of our core lessons and teachings only. So instead of going through everything, it's only actioning up to the conscious surface, the core teachings that you have asked prior to coming in to rebalance and to consciously understand and transform. So it's much, much better, and it's much faster for you. Now, the example of how this works is this: I teach the children that I work with to think of this like this huge bubble, this huge super cape, superhero cape to wear. My message to many for years has been, you don't leave home without this. Literally, you do not walk out the door. I don't wake up without invoking the violet flame, because through the night, I don't know where I've traveled. I don't know where my higher self takes me. I know I work a lot through the collective levels, and they're not always of high vibration because I'm working through there. So again, energy attracts energy. Energy is staying within your field, and you don't know all the energies that you are. I'm sorry. If you do, it is a little bit of arrogance to think you know yourself fully, because it takes a long time to get to that state, and you're a constant work in progress. Okay, so there are energies and there are traits and thoughts and lineages and frequencies that are within your field that you don't even realize. And this is where this flame comes into its true power, because it's releasing and raising them so that you gain more clarity. You are able then to focus on the true core messages, teachings, and lessons you've come to do and be. And your field becomes clearer. So then you're attracting to you the vibrations that you want, instead of the muddied, less than attractions that you might be still playing in, but unconsciously you've been working through stuff, but you think, why the hell is this still happening? It's because you've still got vibrations within your field that you may not have realized that are still calling in these less than vibrations to you. When you invoke that flame, it will clear off much of that you don't even need to know about. So this really frees you, it raises you, and it gives you the clarity for moving forward on your path. Yay. So as an example, how does it work? Well, I will give you my story of how it first presented to me, I suppose. And I was back in nursing. I used to run cardiac units, and I was running them throughout Sydney at the time in Australia. And my last one that I was setting up in Sydney, it was a private hospital. And I was conscious, I was waking up. I'd been on the journey for a few years by 1999. And I'd been doing some groups. I'd read about the violet flame, as I said. And this particular day, it was still very duality back then. And I had a teacher, my manager of the hospital was a male, and he did not like women in power. And I was powerful. I held a powerful position, and I was empowered in my position in nursing. I was able to stand up very much for myself and advocate for my staff and my patients. And I didn't have an issue about that. But he didn't like that at all. And so I was I was choosing him as a great teacher here to reflect the mirrors of what I had to balance, what he had to look at. It's always a dual mirror. And then this particular day, I remember, and I was standing right in the center, and your higher self will place you exactly in the right moment, in the right time. It's always divine. And so I had 6 staff, and I had 3 staff that were out to my left and 3 that were to my right, but no one was in my immediate vicinity, which I think is interesting. As I'm standing there, I see this man coming down the hallway with an absolute agenda on his face of like, I'm going to get you. I'm out to take you down. And I saw this, and instantly, I know, I just went, oh God, oh, here we go again. Oh no, can't stand this. But as we always say, your attention is everything, your awareness is everything. And I became instantly conscious of myself and my thoughts going, and this is so, as you know, it's so fast. My thoughts were like, you can't do this. You're going down to meet his level. It's going to be an ugly game. Step it up, raise it up, get yourself higher than this energy coming at you. So this is all happening on some super level. But I remember doing it. And in that moment, the flame flashed into my thought. Now that's the goddess, flash, in it comes. And I still cannot remember exactly what I said because it doesn't matter. But on some level, I just said, violet flame now, or violet flame. That's as easy as it is. What I did though, was I had enough belief and momentum that I crossed that 51% critical mass threshold into reality shift and change, which is what we all need to do to make a new reality. And obviously that momentum created then what I saw instantly. And this is all very fast, remember. So with those words of violet flame or violet flame now, the next thing I saw, and I've never seen this before at that stage in my life, was this huge ring around me. And in old terms, it was probably, you know, 3 to 4 feet, you know, 1.5 to 2 meters. I'm not quite sure of the balance there, but it was quite a distance around me. And how interesting, as always, none of my staff on either side were within the flame that I saw. It was just me. Now, I created that, as we all do. So as I'm standing there, this wall of fiery mist, and it wasn't flames, it was literally like, I felt it, there was a flame, but it looked like a mist, but there was sort of action happening through it, but it was just surrounding me. And what I remember feeling in the moment was, oh my God, this works. This is real. This is happening. Bloody hell. And I was so preoccupied with the flame. Now, he's still coming down the hallway. Yeah, it was a long hallway, I must admit, but he was still coming. And I just was not paying attention to him. Now, this is where I want these little points to be reckoned and reconciled in here. I wasn't paying attention to him now. Why? Because the flame was lifting me. The flame was raising me out of the lower consciousness that he was coming to attack me. I wasn't on that vibration now. I wasn't concerned about that vibration. Okay, I was just in awe and joy and like amazing states. Now here I am with those words alone. I'm back up into the heart. I'm raised. I'm here at the heart level. So I have been lifted instantly, simply by what I saw and felt. Now, the next phase was my true entry into my world of understanding energy. So here I am now on a raised vibration, and he's on a less than vibration. Now we know, like vibrations attach. They attract, okay, sorry. But differing vibrations don't. They just simply cannot align to you. What I saw next, though, changed my whole life. Now, knowing what I just said of the two varying vibrations, I'm up here, he's down here. He's still charging at me. But literally what I saw was he walked into the edge of where I perceived that violet ring. He literally walked into like a brick wall. He hit it with his chest. His head went back. I'll never forget this. His head went back and he just was pushed back, and he took a step back because the dark doesn't want to go to the light. Okay, he wants to stay in the dark. He took that step back, and I'm watching this going, oh my God. He couldn't even penetrate this vibration because he couldn't match it. So he stepped back away from it, but he still delivered. He just went, blah, and all I saw was the arms were going and the mouth was going, and it was all happening. And you know what? To this day, in that moment and right now, I could not tell you what he said. Nothing came through. Not one thing did he say did I hear, ever. And I just stood there with, I think, the most stupidest look on my face, because I was just like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe what's happening right now. But I just felt so free and at such peace. And then he delivered. He turned on his heels and he stormed off down the hallway. And the next thing, I'm still standing there, and then the violet flame just disappeared to nothing, gone. And I was still standing there like a dumbstruck. Then my staff came in towards me because they couldn't enter either. They were of a different vibration. They weren't of the same height. And they came in like, oh my God, are you okay? Oh, that was terrible. Oh, what he said. Oh, and I just still stood there looking stupid because I don't know what he said. And they're looking at me like, are you okay? I'm going, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. And there was one girl in my staff then who we'd been talking, in my days back then, you didn't talk about spiritual stuff a lot. It wasn't out like it is now in the open. And so she looked at me and she just said, what's going on? I said, I have to tell you later. You're not going to believe this. And I did. And I told her later and she didn't believe it. But that was the beginning of my whole world shifting. Seeing energy in motion, seeing the power of energy in motion, and then recognizing I'd created this through my belief, through my intention, through my focus, and then wondering to myself, what else can I do? What else have I got to learn about energy that I can now utilize for my betterment? And that was at the beginning, was my whole energetic journey of understanding frequencies, the power of frequencies, matching, and as I said to you before, using the violet every single day. Now, as I said earlier, I wake even through the middle of the night, just lying there, I'll just say, violet flame now. Now that to me means I have just amplified, I intend it through all my lower bodies, every cell of my being, because that's my intention. It's in my mind. I know it, I believe it, but I only need to say violet flame now, because that's what that means for me. I will reboot it multiple times a day. I actually said to Saint Germain, who was the master of this flame, he and Lady Portia are the keepers of this flame. And Saint Germain, while he has risen also to higher hierarchical aspects within the greater picture as the Mahachahan, he still is very connected to the violet flame and utilizing it and leading us into the fifth dimensional U-Earth age with this ray. And Lady Portia, I've often called on as well as that divine feminine to stand with me in the power of it. But as I've grown with it, worked with it, understood it, utilized it, and seen it in my world, that's how I have come to knowing the power that I simply cannot leave home without it. When I go out, I know it's this huge aura around me. I know that I remain clear. My world remains clear. My clarity is constant, particularly for the work that I'm here to do and what I intend to do. So I have to be the clearest vessel that I am so that I can be with all the souls that I have to work with and for myself and my family. But I have taught this. I can't explain it and I can't gift it to you any more than the awesomeness that this tool is for you and the incredible change that you will see in your world in using it, if just it. Now, I often liken when you use the flame, excuse me, I'm just checking my time here. When you use the flame, this is like taking your car, your vehicle that you are, all aspects of your body. It's like taking your car in for service. So it will clear, it will raise, it will shift, it will bring stuff up, it will get the energies floating and moving. It may create a little bit of chaos for a while, but it will begin the shift in your body. So like any clearing of the car, it's like, after you've cleared the car, still bring in the good oil. Okay, so use this to raise and lift you, but then really complement it all and heighten your energies and frequencies yet again by raising your vibration with the gold ray, the rose gold ray, whatever ray that it is that you choose, all rays, the rainbow, whatever it is that you wish to align to, just simply the love ray, the crimson ray, the rose gold ray. Bring them in to again illuminate the cells and connect into that higher creator aspect, the Christ aspect again. Anchor it all down into the Earth Mother. This beautiful flame too, as I said, our gift to her. I constantly inflame in the earth. Every day my house is in it. Every room of my house is in it. I amplify it to the earth. I send it and amplify it well out into my local area. I'm guided if I'm meant to do it through states, through Australia, beyond. It will vary. I'll send it to countries, I'll send it to hotspots. I've traveled with it when I used to fly. I've dumped it as I've traveled. When I'm in the car, I send it out, because every time you're intending this incredible force, you're assisting every man, woman, child, sentient being upon this planet, elementals, the Earth Mother, all her kingdoms, the tribe, the clan chiefs, the air, fire, water, air elements, everything. Again, don't limit yourself. Just know that you are and you can. So I'll leave that there for today to ponder. I'd love any questions. If you've got them, comment. I'll leave the comments bar open. Happy to answer them as best I can. And I think I'd like to take this into the next phase of understanding the flame, of how we can utilize it in our immediate world, and particularly at this time that we're witnessing during COVID, and particularly now, I will use the word inoculation time. Because yes, you can make a change. Yes, you can make effects to that, and any fears that you may have around that, this is the tool to exonerate, to shift and lift any lesser vibration of fear within you. And that is the path forward into fifth dimension, the amplification, the rebalance of fear back into love. So I hope that helps. I hope you enjoy the videos again. I will be doing this more often than not. I feel this is the forum for me at the moment. I'd love to hear anything, as I said, any comments you've got. If you've got any even topics that you'd like me to talk about, happy to if I can. And thank you all. And I'm really pleased to be back. And I hope this video reaches you. Anyway, take care. Love and light to all. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.